Hello, and welcome to Without Fathom. I'm MacGuffen, this is Daggerchart, and it's finally happened. After 8 months, we finally have a new Void update. For those who don't know, or forgot since it has been so long, the Void is Daggerchart Press's playtest zone for future Daggerchart content. In this Void drop, we have an updated Bloodhunter class and Blood Domain, as well as a new class, the Summoner. Starting with the Bloodhunter, it has quite a few changes. The biggest one is probably changing one of its domains from Blade to Bone. HP is down, Evasion is up, and feature changes all around. Similarly, the Blood domain has quite a few changes, which I'm still going through, but I really want to get to the new class, the Summoner. Blood and, as I thought, Splendor. This might be the most mechanically interesting class in Daggerchart. While, as the name would suggest, it is flavored as a pet class, but in reality, it's a resource management class. The Summoner can spend a stress to summon a number of entities equal to their tier, of any type they are able to summon, to a maximum number of entities equal to their level. All Summoners can summon Fate Spirits that can be sacrificed to cause an adversary to reroll a successful attack, plus an additional entity type from each subclass card that they have. Necromancy can summon Undead to grant attack and self-defense features, and Theurgy has Angels that have more of a focus on battlefield management. As I thought more about the class, I've realized something. Unlike the Warlock, which has subclasses that have archetypes for patrons, the Endless and the Wrathful, rather than defining them more, the Summoner's subclasses are specific, summons Undead and Angels respectively. The more I think about it, the more I find other ways to look at this class. The core class is almost like a framework for the subclasses to define it. The flavor of those subclasses, however, is like a loose skin that can be easily pulled off and replaced. Maybe even just swap them between the two, or come up with your own. I've seen several already. I particularly like one person's idea of the entities being bees. I feel I'd be remiss to not also mention that during the livestream that followed the update, they did mention that they've made 5 subclasses for the Summoner. I'm just scratching my head as to why they only released 2. So, with the Void finally getting updated, I finally also have a much needed data point, the start of a new Void phase. Technically, we'd gotten the Bloodhunter in October last year, but I think that was more of a tie-in with the Oaths and Ash live show, and some Halloween fun. With this new data point, I can more confidently make predictions based on the releases and announcements of previous books. Assuming that there's a similar amount of time between the first and last playtests, between the last playtest and the release announcement, and between the release announcement and the release, we should be getting the final playtest around late October to early December. In 2027, the announcement should be around early to mid-January, and the release, barring any delays, should be September or October. Here is a gross oversimplification of the development cycle, broken into pre-production closed playtesting, open playtesting in the Void, and post-production and printing. Open Fear's pre-production overlapped with the core book's cycle, and started its Void phase when the core book was released. It is interesting to note the Blood Book's Void phase has started even before Hope and Fear has been released. So, the development cycles are overlapping more, even for a little bit. They said back in the birthday stream that they have the next 3 years charted out, and while the current rated book releases makes it look like they only have 3 books planned, I suspect the release schedule should start picking up before the Blood Domains book. At the very least, there's an adventure book in the works that might come out before then. Fingers crossed they'll let us know at Gen Con. As for the next Void update, previous updates have been typically on Tuesdays, around 4 or 5 weeks apart, so we can keep an eye out on the 4th or 11th of August. Oddly enough, both this update and the Bloodhunter's original debut were on Thursdays, so it is possible the 6th or 13th are the days to watch for. I will say this, Daggerchart Press, if you're watching, please release future Void updates on Tuesdays. It makes it much easier to get my Daggerchart videos out on the following Monday when I usually release them. Also of note is they're opening the Void for feedback on July 23rd, so be sure to comprehend the Void as much as possible before then, give the best feedback you can. Remember, they've gone on record saying they only release things on the Void twice because they don't get as much feedback after that, so be sure to give feedback every time so we can get more Void updates. Anyways, what do you think of the new Void drop? Was it worth the wait? Are you on team Bone or Blade for the Bloodhunter? How are you planning to reflavor the Summoner? And what announcements are you hoping for at Gen Con? Leave a comment. And be sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel while you're at it for more Daggerchart content. Until next time, have a great day. Bye!